Hello, accountants. I hope we are all well. Let me ask this question. Are you guys accountants? Are you in love with Alice? I remember asking this question for the first time in our class. People always now who is Alice? Who is Alice? Remember, if you don't love Alice and you're an accountant, then you're not an accountant. If you don't love Alice and you're an accountant, then you're not an accountant. Yeah. So the question is, who is this Alice? I know this is a question that whenever I ask in class, students are always like, now, Mwalimu, who is this Alice? Probably I know it's the same case that you're asking yourself, who is this Alice? So you'll find that Alice is a foundation, or Alice concept is a foundation of accounting. And this will apply to all the students doing financial accounting, financial reporting, or anything relating to financial accounting. So you'll find that the whole of basics concepts of financial accounting, you must be very good when it comes to matters to do with double entry. Double entry is a concept that will affect us all through anywhere that we'll be doing accounts, both in practice and also in class. Yeah. Number two, you must also be very good in understanding how to prepare the ledger accounts. Yeah, how to prepare the ledger accounts. This is also very key because it is the ledger accounts that will assist us to prepare a very key concept in financial accounting as well as also financial reporting. This is the trial balance. See, without this, there's no way that you can prepare other books of financial accounts, or rather the books of financial statements. Without this, there's no way that you can prepare other books of financial statements. So the question is, how in love are you with Alice? How in love are you with Alice? Because it is Alice that will summarize all these concepts. Now, let Mwalimu guide us and describe who is Alice. Yeah? So anytime we are talking about Alice, my good students, this is what financial accounting is, as well as financial reporting and the rest. Alice. So Alice here, we'll be talking of assets, we'll be talking of liabilities, we'll be talking of income, we'll be talking of capital, which is also referred to as equity, we'll be talking of expenses. Now, guys, are you in love with Alice? So the question will be, what about the double entry? Double entry concept is always very easy on this because we'll be looking at increase and decrease. You see, talk about increase as well as decrease. Okay, so this is easy. At any given point in time, whenever my assets increase, I'm going to debit. Debit is just recording it, right? It's just doing our record in our accounts. And basically, if at all we're having these accounts, you'll find that looking at the left side, this is debit. Looking at the right side, this is what? Credit. So this is what we are referring to as our ledger accounts. So at any given point in time, whenever our asset increases, they'll always be debited. And when our asset decreases, we'll always be having a credit. Whenever liabilities increases, my good students, you do what? You credit. And whenever it decreases, you debit. Income. At any given point, whenever you are having your income, at any given point, whenever your income increases, you do what? Credit. And at any given point, whenever it decreases, you do what? Debit. What about capital? If capital increases, you credit. If capital decreases, you do what? You debit. And expenses. Whenever you're having an increase in expense, you'll always tend to debit. And whenever you're having basically a decrease in expense, you're going to do what? You're going to credit. So using the same concept, it will then help us to understand these ledger accounts. You see, so at any given point in time, whenever you're having an asset, yeah, so always know that whenever you're preparing your ledger account, the balances brought down for assets will always be on the debit side. That's what we're talking about, what? Increase, yeah? So anytime you're preparing your ledger accounts, these are ledger accounts, okay? These are ledger accounts. ledger accounts. So at any given point, whenever providing your ledger asset account, balance breakdown will always be on the debit side. Balance breakdown will always be on the debit side. Okay? And that is to say my balance carried down will be on the credit side. When we are talking about liabilities in our ledger, that is to say our balance breakdown will always be on the credit side. I know you didn't know this and you're like, is this how easy financial accounting is? Yes, it is as easy as this. Balance breakdown. When you're talking about income, my good students here, our income, anytime we are preparing our ledger accounts, we'll find that the balance carried down of income will always be brought down, will always be on the credit side. What about capital? The same case. We are following our ALIs. We are following our ALIs. That's why I mentioned how in love are you with ALIs if you're an accountant, right? So therefore, you find that for capital increase, of course, my balance brought down, it will be on the credit side. What about our expenses here? Our expenses, our balance brought down will be on the debit side. So with this, it will now be very easy for you to prepare your trial balance. It will be very easy for you to prepare your trial balance. So how will you prepare your trial balance? Always, whenever we are having our trial balance, just with the concept of ALIs, we can agree that the debit side and the credit side in our trial balance, you'll find that all assets will be on the debit side. All liabilities will be on the credit side. All income will be on the credit side. You see? All capital, anytime we're having our equity, equity will be on the credit side. Capital or equity. And whenever we hear about expenses, expenses will be on the debit side. Expenses. And you're having your trial balance. You're having your trial balance. How many minutes have you taken to understand the whole concept of financial accounting? Because it is the same concept that will also affect us in financial reporting. The same concept will always affect us in advanced financial reporting. Any component relating with accounts, then double entry is a key. So from today onwards, if Mwalimu asks us if we are in love with Alice, stop thinking too much. Yeah, Alice is all about this, and you'll find that with the concept of Alice, a summary of everything, so that any question that you'll be having, it will always be as easy as that. Learning accounting within 10 minutes, right? So that's okay. That was just accounting 101. I wanted basically to make sure and at least to jog your mind in relation to that. I believe you've learned. You guys have a nice time. See you then. Bye bye.